What's good? Welcome back to another edition of Talk That Talk podcast. I go by the name of Bacon. I got my co-hosts with me.
Oh, yeah. Got the hair done. I was out here looking rough earlier this week.
Feel me? Yeah, I'm ready for this NBA to start, man. I'm so excited.
I know.
To see my boys in action. You guys ain't looking too good over there. Chemistry look a little off.
I mean, what you expect? It's the preseason, bro.
It's a brand new team.
Mm-hmm.
Funny to me.
You guys, everybody ain't necessarily all played at the same time. Yeah, the Warriors right now are just plug and play. Everybody's just basically the same.
I tell you, Jordan Poole's plug and play. I'll tell you that.
It's the same.
Yeah, but he acted like Jordan Poole is
like he's new. Come on, bro.
Like he's a brand new addition to the team or something.
Yeah, that's you're trying to compare a company that's been working together and they got the same nucleus, the same CEO, same manager, to a company that's got different, maybe the same nucleus to a degree, but a manager who got different CEOs or whatever the case may be. They got different people coming every year, bro. So they got to figure out how to play together, man. It's not.
So it's exponentially harder when you have a lack of shooting, or you can play defense but you can't shoot. Or you can shoot, but you can't play D, and you got all these mismatched parts that don't fit together. But hey, we're gonna get into that. We got all the time in the world.
Got all that. We're gonna start that next Tuesday as the season starts on the 19th, and it's gonna be lit, and we'll get into that. But before we talk about some basketball in the next season, we gotta talk about Kyrie, man. Kyrie, first and foremost, he lost 100 and I believe 85 million. 89, was it 85 or 89?
Yeah,
186. You mean the money that ain't coming his way?
No, he ain't getting that bread, and he's still sitting out. And he said he's not anti-vaccine, but he just standing for a better cause because he felt like they told him that he was going to be able to play without being vaccinated, and now all of a sudden they putting these mandates, and he felt like the power of control. And then the team is like, "Hey, let him do what he do. We support him." And then he got on and say, "Hey, don't let this media distract you to let you know where my loyalty lies. I'm not retiring. I'm still gonna be hooping." It's a lot going on. How do y'all feel about this whole Kyrie debacle?
Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, he called you DJ. He didn't even call you. Oh my God! Hot take is throwing out the syrup today. He put the syrup.
It's rough because like if people know me, man, I've been a strong Kyrie fan. Just because he went to Duke, always just admired his game. And then, Kobe took him in, and me being a big Kobe fan, that became like an endorsement to like my feelings about Kyrie. But ever since he left Cleveland, I don't know who the hell is Kyrie Irving is. I just don't. I just feel like he's just been making a lot of rash decisions with a lot of illogical thoughts behind it, or he talking kind of out of the side of both of his mouths. And again, he's back, same situation, doing it again right now. And it's like the NBA is not mandating you get the vaccine. It's the actual city that you live in, bro. Like, so this has nothing to do with the NBA. Like, they can try to do some stuff. Like, they went as far as making the Brooklyn Nets facility a private organization to get you to practice. But then they kind of realized, like, well, getting you to practice but you can't play is hurting the team. So you're mad at the wrong people. You feel me? You're mad at the NBA, or you're holding your team hostage for something New York City has done. And I feel like that's not fair. So you can't say you're anti-vax, but not necessarily willing to get the vax for your team in perspective to play basketball, if that makes sense. Because I feel like you just holding out because New York has these rules and people are losing their job behind these mandates. You bring up freedom of choice. Well, you have made a choice. The choice is these companies, just like anything else, companies have policies. And just because this new policy does not fit what you trying to do, you can't be mad at the company's policy because you trying to work for that company. So yes, it's unfortunate that people are losing their jobs. It was unfortunate people losing their jobs before all this stuff went out, when things had to shut down. So it's like if if these companies' policies are saying these things, you can't be mad at that. And so like I said, I feel like Kyrie is just trying to do too much, and that's just kind of how I view it.
Bro, there's 24 hours in a day. And when you wanna say that you can support the other people, you can play basketball, get the vaccine, and then still go be a voice for the voiceless. It don't mean that you are some symbol or icon of anti-vaccine mandate. Like it's a whole bunch of garbage. And when they used to say the word rebel without a cause, like I didn't know what that truly meant until I look at Kyrie. He wants to be some sort of martyr. He wants to be some sort of Muhammad Ali, and he ain't got the cause. And it goes from George Floyd to, the march on the Capitol to now this vaccine. And it's like, dude, what feels good to me? Like, bro, like this victim stuff that he's going on with, like New York don't owe you nothing. They don't care about your $168 million extension. You ain't entitled to nothing. You have the greatest handle God has ever graced a human being with. And you take all that momentum, you take all that energy, and you just got some kind of God complex or something going on with him. I have a disdain for it. I can't stand it. It's just like the words that need to be used to describe this guy are self-centered, opportunistic, one of the most vain athletes like I've ever seen. I can't. Somebody who wants to play devil's advocate just to play devil's advocate, man, this dude, he's just too much.
Here's the thing. I get both of you guys' points. I get where you can feel the way you feel in regards to feeling like he's taking it a little bit too far. But here's my stance on this thing. I think that where Kyrie come from is there's some truth to how he feels, because there's a lot of people who feel how he feels but just don't want to express how he feels. So he's speaking for those people who feel voiceless, who are going to work, who are losing their jobs, who don't have the power of control. They don't have no control in the aspect of being able to work how they would like to work in a degree, right? And jobs are putting a lot of mandates because let's be honest, yes, it's health wise, but the big underlying masking thing is money wise. That's just what it is. It's like even with the George Floyd thing, if we take it way back, the only reason why so many people start to do stuff about it because it started to impact money, it started to impact businesses, people start getting hurt. So they was like, look, we need to figure something out quick. It started impacting the NBA, all the sports. If it didn't get that far, like, for example, Colin Kaepernick, right? When he took the knee and then he got, kind of exiled out of the league, right? The money wasn't getting stopped, right? They still was playing games. Imagine if the bread was getting stopped, if people wasn't suiting up, if people didn't show up for the games or whatever, that would have had a different impact on the whole circumstance. So I think what Kyrie is trying to do is to use his platform. I wouldn't say if he's doing it the right way, because that's not my place.
He not.
But here's my thing. It's not my place to say how you supposed to move, right? It's like I can't tell you how to be in your relationship. Only you can I can give you advice, I can give you tips, but you at the end of the day have to see how you want to navigate in your relationship, in your life. So in my opinion, I just feel like Kyrie feel like this is the best way he wants to do it in his eyes and his mind.
Selfish. That's selfish.
But see, that's what I'm saying. What's selfish to you can be heroic to some. Could be a sort of
vanity, selfish interest. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's coming from your personal opinion. That's what I'm saying. Like, because here's the thing. Because if he was selfish, right? If he was absolutely selfish, you would make it just all about him. Like he's been on a lot of.
What he doing?
Been doing a lot of. He's not even in the media. What are you talking about? If he wanted to be selfish, he can be talking about it all day and making it about him. Like, I'm not playing basketball. He hasn't did no media things. He's not in the media. You don't see him at the media. You don't see him putting his face out there. So for you to say that the man is selfish because he's doing it the way he feel that is comfortable for him, you can't do that.
Bro, no.
That's not right either.
So there's rules to society. When you live within
What rules? What rules?
bro, pay your taxes. How
What
about
rules?
that? You know, people will complain about taxes being spent, but then when it comes to national defense or fix this roadway, you ain't complaining about it. You know what I'm saying? It's dog. We need to prevent a pandemic so people can have a job. And you talking about the people that are complaining that they can't have a job after everybody else then took the vaccine and we got herd immunity. So we got to look out for the little person. But how about the masses? You are a part of society, bro.
Hold on.
Your moral debt to what is your moral debt to society? You just don't got to play by the rules at all.
No.
Like
no.
Dog, no.
See. Here's my thing. Your take on life and society is your take on life. If you choose to take the vaccine, that's your choice. There's a million of people. Right. You got to understand the whole world's not vaccinated. There's a whole population who don't want to get vaccinated.
And are refusing, are legitimately
refusing. People in New York got fired because they worked in the medical field and they refused to be vaccinated. They was in the trenches and
they find a new job.
See, that's easy for you to say.
Nope.
But you gotta. Here's my thing. You gotta understand their point of view. All right. They feel like, hey, it's my body. I can still be able to do the stuff I'm able to do because at the end of the day, being vaccinated or not vaccinated, it's not going to stop the COVID from spreading. It's not going to stop.
If it's exponentially slowing it, that is your contribution to society. You want to go off the grid? Go live off the grid. You want to find a job that you can exclusively work from home? Go find one. But you totally absolving. This is a private decision, bro. You make millions to play a game in front of fans where the arena has 20,000 people in there. But you have an obligation to mitigate that. You do, or don't take the check.
He ain't.
That's it.
He's not taking a check.
Yeah. I bet you he takes the check when they're playing on the road in Philly.
But Brooklyn is not allowing them to play. And so, like I said, I hear the both of you. I understand both perspectives come from you two. I just, like I said, when it comes to Kyrie and the masses overall, again, everyone has the right to make their own decision. You do. Like, I have no choice but to respect whatever decision you decide to make when it comes to this vaccine. But again, in life, there are good and bad consequences when you decide to make decisions. And so, unfortunately, when you decide not to take the vaccine, that comes with more of a bad consequence than you do when you do take the vaccine. And that has been a part of life. That has been a part of our society, speaking on Jay, because like Jay said, people go years without paying taxes. Nothing happens. And then the IRS out of nowhere come back and say, hey, remember them 10 years when you thought it was sweet?
Oh, they know what they're doing.
What's your debt to society?
They know what they're doing, though. They wait till it get to 10 years to hit you.
They do. With the interest.
But the thing is if you have been following societal rules, whether it's spoken or unspoken, and been playing the game along the way, you wouldn't have got. You feel me? That's just kind of how it is. And so, like I said, overall, globally, I feel like it's unfortunate that, especially like with the frontline people. I feel like the hospital people, it's unfortunate because before there was a vaccine, y'all was pressing this frontline stuff. And these people were really risking their lives without no vaccine. So I feel like for the hospital workers, you shouldn't, I wouldn't say mandate it, but it definitely should be their choice, even though they work in the hospital field, because
nobody
was sending them out to the wolves before vaccine. So you might as well let that field rock how that field rock. Everything else, you feel me? I think it still should be a choice, but because that choice and that company is want to protect their business, you have to you said it. It's their business. It's how they want things, and you have to respect what they're doing with their business.
He's influencing people who don't have the resources, though. Yeah, I can boycott my job. You should boycott yours.
No, here's my thing, and I'm gonna say this, okay? At the end of the day, those people who he's influenced or who he has a voice for, they all have the choice to either use that as a like energy to be like, I'm not taking the vaccine. That's on them. if they letting another man dictate what they gonna do in their life, that's on them. That's on them. I would never let nobody dictate what I'm gonna do. The decision I make. What you eat don't make me do whatever the case may be. That's what my dad always told me at the end. No, I'm just saying
that's
that.
what your dad is. Hey, listen, Bake Pop got some quotes.
He said it in different terms. He said it in different terms. What you eat don't make me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But here's my thing on this, bro. There are people in life who feels like, look, I haven't caught it. I've taken all precautionary measures. I wear my mask. I take care of myself, and I'm social distancing. I shouldn't have to be forced to put something in my body if I'm doing the other things that was taught for me to do before there was a vaccination. Okay. There's some people that feel that way. And then you have the other people, and they may even think this, like, bro, there's still people who catching COVID with the vaccine who's dying or passing it along. Because here's the idea of what we created. When you're not vaccinated, you can go to games without masks, or you can go there or whatever, and they would let you do a lot of stuff that you even shouldn't be doing regardless because you're vaccinated. It's like, oh, we're good. You're good. You're vaccinated. You're good. And that's not always true, because it's the people that's vaccinated that you got to worry about the most, because they may even walk around with no symptoms because they vaccinated and still have the virus. So they could contact it with people who not vaccinated, and they could do more harm than good at the end of the day.
It's a cluster F of stuff going on.
So
there's no real right or wrong way to handle this. We've just been kind of given a blueprint on what we think is working. Because right now there's still like no 100% this way or no.
Yeah, well, here's what's undisputable: COVID rates is dropping dramatically now that we got a handle on this thing, and taking the vaccine dramatically is dropping. You know, it's moving us in the right direction collectively. But what my point is when you head of a household and you got some 15, 16, 20-year-old in your house bucking the system, you say, here's the rules under my house. You don't like it, you can go support yourself, not under this roof, right? And in our society, this is the same thing. This is how we get down here in America, here in this community, here in this county, and the vaccines, this is the rules of our household. So you don't like it, nobody's forcing you to put a needle in your arm and take this thing. You can go live off the grid and go live in the mountains somewhere, go somewhere else. Or if you need to change your job or your profession, then that's what you need to do. So you ain't front-facing customers or whatever. But here's my nugget, because when I dropped that hot take a couple years ago, I didn't know it was going to be George Floyd or COVID or nothing. But Shannon Sharp finally said it yesterday, and I was loving it when he said it. He goes, I don't know if Kyrie's ready for this, but when KD and Harden say my legacy is more important than our friendship, Kyrie, and it's time to move on, then all of a sudden, that's going to be the divide, that little crevice. And this dude has a 1+1, 35 this year, 37 next year. And if he only getting half that check, he ain't getting the extension, he ain't playing nowhere else, no other GM is going to want him. My question is, if he hasn't played his last NBA game today, is it coming soon? And it's not going to be his choice. So
I think he's going to be a Brooklyn net by the end of it.
He is.
He's going to be vaccinated at the end of the day. But I truly feel like sometimes folks speak for other people who don't have that power, who don't have that choice, who's forced to get vaccinated because they know that's the only way to is me. That's what I'm
with that.
No, yeah, Bank. And let me ask you this: in this particular situation, not saying overall, because a lot of times overall you do need to. Some people need to speak for the voiceless, but in this particular situation,
yeah,
and him speaking for the voiceless, what is going to change? Because this is one of those things where these mandates
are
and
happening.
Policies are not they're not about to change. So this is one of those ones where you're speaking up, we hear you, and it's good, but it's like these people either, like Jay said, you either gonna acquiesce and get the vaccine to have that job, or you're gonna go find a job, hopefully, that does not
Here's the thing, though, and this
Does
is the
that?
thing that we got to be real and be honest with ourselves. If the whole world is moving towards this direction, there's not going to be jobs for you to really do that's not going to have mandates that's forcing you to get the vaccine. I said it last week, and even my dad called me when my mom got hired full
Yeah.
time, and the first thing they
Mhm.
said is y'all all need to be vaccinated before X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
She freaked out.
Yep.
She was on the verge of saying,
Nah.
I don't know if I want to work here because I've been working for y'all for a whole year, no vaccine needed. And I'm still gonna be working from home. Why are you making me put this
Well,
thing?
see, in that situation, that's dumb. Because if she gonna be at the crib and ain't even got to be at the job site
She's still
now,
working
like,
from home from the
you feel,
and they're
see,
still
Jay,
doing the
so
same
Jay, would
thing.
you agree that like that's a dumb mandate if you are working from home and got to be vaccinated?
Well, I mean, we'll evolve and catch up to that, but I got hit with it too. Like I'm sitting over here like, oh, I've been working from home for over a year and a half now. And then my
Yeah.
job hit me with the send us a proof of your vaccination card before you walk up in here,
Yeah,
you
because
know. And it
because if
wasn't,
you
and
got
I'm still working from home pretty much. So
yeah, but I'm just saying if you eventually have to go in,
yeah,
then I get it.
yeah,
But if
yeah.
like I
If
look at it like
exclusively work from home.
yeah, man, I look at it as if I'm going to be able to be at home, right?
Yeah.
If I can be at home, and you not telling me when I got to come in, or if you say, look, by this date, we're going to be back in the office, and you're not going to be able to be at home.
Yeah.
We would need you to get vaccinated by this day. But if you ain't got no date or no timetable for us to come in the damn office,
But
you can't be telling me to go get vaccinated when I'm at the crib.
you are right.
I'm not
But here's
affecting the money.
here's the truth of it. Work from home has generated thousands, probably millions of new jobs getting innovative to work from home. So
But
if
they
you can,
still,
and then not only that, if
but
Kyrie wants to be a voice for the voiceless, then that means you could dedicate your resources and your time to helping people transition to these new occupations. Think outside the box. It
right.
ain't getting on a soapbox in front of IG Live and contradicting yourself for 20 straight minutes. It's let me go find some other ways to support the cause.
Yeah, he hasn't been on social media.
He
Kyrie,
hasn't been though. I can agree to that. And this is the
come
first
on,
time I've
if I'm
second
really
time I've
gonna
seen
make
it.
it about me, then I would be on every media outlet. I'll be on Good Morning USA. I'll be on Ellen, all these outlets
Yeah.
to make it a bigger cause. But he hasn't even been doing that. He's been to himself. But what he did when he came out on social media, he was like, look, bro, y'all not gonna keep putting no things on my name, bro. I let me go out here, set the record straight, and let y'all know how I feel. We could talk about this for hours, but I'm gonna say this. The thing is that though we feel like we have a choice, in actuality, we don't have the choice because if we want to provide for our family, if we want to provide for ourselves, we want to provide for our livelihood and pay bills and things like that. And if the world is going to this mandate where they want you to be vaccinated, and if you're not vaccinated, guarantee you're not going to qualify for a lot of things that you may qualify for being vaccinated, which is maybe unemployment. They may say, well, you kind of quit your job because you didn't want to be vaccinated. We can't.
Oh yeah, no, that is happening. That's happening.
We can't
Hey,
support that. So
yeah.
either you want to either you get vaccinated or you're gonna be jobless because all these smaller jobs are forcing people to be vaccinated. Grocery stores are forcing people to be vaccinated. Mall jobs are for these are
And
like
rightly so. Rightly
You're
so.
around people. I think as you're around
no.
people, I get it.
I hear all that, but I'm telling you, even though you think you may have a choice, you really don't have a choice.
And
No, you
so
do. You just don't like it. You could go move. You could go, like I said,
Where
you could look. Hey,
where you gonna go, Jay?
I see bums on the street every day making
The only place you can go is Texas at the end of the day because they're the only one.
Exactly. Again, you got a choice. You don't like how high and how drastic it is, but you got a choice. No matter how far up the ladder you go, you got a choice.
So we can get up off this topic. My thing is you cannot send, even before COVID, you cannot send your child to school without the requisite shots. You have the choice not to let you.
Just got hit with it. She can't come. Sorry. Go get the shot.
And this is before, I'm just saying, not even for the COVID shot. I'm just talking about your regular immunizational record.
Tuberculosis. Just got hit with that. Hit with that.
You can't go to a school without these shots. Now, as a parent, you could be anti-shots and all this kind of stuff. And so the alternative will be what? I'm a homeschool my child because I feel like my child don't need. So it's like, yeah, you're not, even in that situation, it's being forced.
Yep.
But it's more of
it's cause and effect.
It's a requirement. So when we're looking at it, that's the kind of thing that I've attributed this to, is like certain situations you can't even do without this. They're not saying it wholeheartedly where you got to go do it, but it is what it is, and that's
I'm gonna tell you why and I thought about this because I was on that side, and I'm still on that side to agree. But this is the real reason. I just want to be honest with ourselves. When you've been doing something for a very, very long time, it becomes a norm where you don't question it, you don't second guess.
We shouldn't question this.
No. But see, here's my thing. Here's my thing. Why people second guess it and question it? Because now we living in a world where there's a lot of skepticism, there's a lot of, yo, that happened too fast, it's too good to be true. Like, yo, we didn't have a lot of time to plan for that. How y'all said it was gonna take 3 to 4 years to get a vaccine? But no, listen, no, hear me out. I'm telling you what people are thinking. Now I know things can change with resources, with funding and things like that. And when you start to impact people's pockets.
But I don't want your gumbo that you made in 15 minutes. Get that out of here.
Okay, but my thing is that
I get it.
Are like, bro, I don't have a problem with taking a vaccine. I just don't want to take it right now because it's too early. We don't know the side effects. We don't know X, Y, and Z. But with tuberculosis, with flu shots, with all these hepatitis B's and all, we've been taking these for about 30, 40 years.
It had to start somewhere.
Exactly. There was guinea pigs somewhere.
I know that, but I'm telling you, you got to think about it. When that started, there was guinea pigs back then who felt the same way.
The tribe has rules. You don't like the rules of the tribe.
Like I said, we could be
stepping.
We could be on this forever because I mean, we all got solid, valid opinions.
Look, I'm vaccinated, so you this is coming from a guy who's vaccinated. I got vaccinated early in the year, but I understand people's side and why people feel.
See, the thing is, I understand all of it, but just because I understand it and I empathize, don't mean I'm still not coming at you like you're wrong. Not necessarily you, but just in general, survival. We about survival in the masses, and we got rules.
If you can survive without catching COVID, you can survive with the shot.
Yeah, but we got masses to look out for. And when the rule is across the board, we're going to get that herd immunity. And you can always be the odd one that doesn't get it.
Don't ever be immunity until like 7-8 years. I'm just being honest.
You're probably right. But if everybody keeps getting to make their own decisions collectively, and then you got people out there, on platforms like Kyries taking advantage of, we never gonna get there.
I don't think we'll get there because of the times we live in. We live in
we live in a very rebellious time.